Welcome back, friends, to Occultists Anonymous, episode 150. What?
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wait, no. 148.
149. 150's next.
150's next time.
It'll be later today. YouTube guys, it'll be, whatever. I've already screwed up. Just welcome to Occultists Anonymous, sponsored by Roll20, the Onyx Path, and viewers like you. Thank you guys very much for your support. We appreciate it. Thank you everybody who subscribes, comments, hangs out, Discord community. Special shout out. Hey guys. You guys are awesome. If you're not part of the Discord community, come by yeetinto.space and just hang out. It's cool if you lurk or want to talk about other stuff. We are a welcoming, inclusive, both inclusive and inclusive, you know what I mean, community. So, come by, hang out. Special shout out, the second, for our patrons who support us monetarily. Thank you to Adele, Al, Alan Michael, Alexander, Algos, Bernie, Blood Angel, Brandon, Chris, Doc, Emil, Funzo Surali, George, Jack, James, Jenny, John, Josh, Julian, Catfeathers, Melissa, Michael, Milo V3, Moku, Neo Magus, Noba, Other Michael, Perry, Puppeteer, Ramon, Bravescrad, Ryan, Sebastian, Cinda, Songbird Lullaby, Terry, the late Mr. Graves, Thirsty Warlock, Thomas, Usuf Sama, Vortex, Woodfoot, and Zoltan. Would you like to try and guess who Noctom was? Nah, okay. Moving on.
Songbird's Lullaby?
Nope. Come on, Thirsty Warlocks out there. That's not. If you guys don't know who we're talking about, come by Discord. You will meet Noctol. We guarantee it. If it doesn't sound like I'm, not pushing Discord, let me know and I'll push it a little bit more. Seriously, come on.
Push the Discord is starting to turn.
Yeah. Gotta get it off the... Okay. So, as I mentioned to Twitch, but I'm going to re-mention now for YouTube guys. Actually, you know what? It doesn't really matter for YouTube guys, because who knows what day it is, but happy Thanksgiving. Just to put a date on this, in case you could figure it out. I can definitely
To anyone in the future who watches this on Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving.
We did actually have somebody talk about they got to last year's Thanksgiving episode this Thanksgiving, and I'm just like, the fact that we have 2 Thanksgiving episodes now is bonkers. Right. So
been doing this for a long time now.
I can definitely tell that the coffee has set in. The caffeine is working. And I'm just slightly nervous because last time we met, the Cabal was in the vault of the Tetrarch, the Panopticon, who basically has oversight, Panopticon, get it, over all of North America. And therein, they have found their way up through a natural cave area, up through a mine area, and up into what appears to be wood.
It's a nice library.
Cabin.
Living area.
Yeah.
Just it's got a rug in the middle, really brings it all together.
Well, no rug, but there is
really
a giant iron seal of the Panopticon there in the midst of it. It is noticeable. And notably, I believe you guys had just stepped around the corner. I believe Songbird had stepped through after seeing no spells. And you guys had zoned in, I think, Craig, yes.
Zoned into the room?
Weird has the locate object for the Grimoire is able to pinpoint that's the one. It is the currently unrolled scroll of pale leather with dark red, brownish ink, to which everybody said,
Ew.
Ew.
So who's touching that?
Before we get to that, because you guys are basically at stepping through the threshold of a set of double doors that are wide open. They definitely feel a little bit similar to the double doors that Mr. Graves had, in the fact that they were they're drawn up and decorated with signs of the exarchs and with the panopticon, especially the eyes and pyramids and things of that nature, all kind of really setting and making it very clear where you are, and along the walls in kind of
just in case we got here and didn't know,
right, are shelves, racks more accurately, of books, scroll tubes, a couple other odd objects that are less traditionally bookish. Some that are, you definitely see like a couple, like there's probably a row of like 3 or 4 vinyl records laid out. There's a fucking laser disc, a stack of CD jewel cases with CDs. If you don't know what those are, you're probably too young to be watching this. Go home. Oh God, no.
Yeah.
No, they're probably still okay, actually.
But yeah. Well, so yeah, a variety of stuff. It does seem, I think perhaps Atratus's inner librarian is probably upset at the organization, because it doesn't appear to be organized by topic. More likely it is being organized by medium, though now that I say that, I think most libraries are actually set up that way. Everybody look at the cheat. Yes. Oh, strong bad references. Hi, welcome to 2020. It's been a bit. Yes.
I saw someone selling a talking strong bad plush. It might have been the Squishable people that you can buy right now.
Remind me about that after stream.
Tell me that on the break, please.
Yep. Yes. So, cutting back to it, I believe Songbird is the one taking that first step forward into the room. And to quickly remind everybody, there's also behind you Mr. Suit, for lack of a better name. Yes. Righto. Yes. And so Mr. Suit had been behind you, which was, by appearance, the same Mr. Suit, but Songbird is like, nope, active spell on Mr. Suit is knocked him out asleep. And looking at him, this one does not have a spell on him. So it wasn't like there was a buff to elevate their probably stamina, maybe resolve, in order to resist it. This is a second, air quote, question mark, Mr. Graves. Nope, Mr. Suit.
No.
No, you guys.
That's a whole other shitball that we don't want to even get into right now.
Right. So yes, and so Songbird steps forward and beelining for the grimoire, or closing the door. What's the plan?
In towards everything. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Nothing happens. As your initial, view, no obvious spells affecting anything. I do not need to have you use the common sense merit or anything to go, it probably isn't that easy. It just more means that Songbird goes, I can't see the defenses here, as opposed to, yeah.
I'm going to cast a Words and Sign on Weird and I real quick.
Because Tratus already has it from her necklace. Cool. And then Tratus or Weird, any initial actions as Songbird is stepping forward?
I kind of feel like this is his baby, but no.
I mean, we know this is that, like, they're really good at fate. Possibly were in a campus before they were an archmage. I'm really worried about getting cursed.
Sure. And bear in mind,
touching anything in here.
Don't necessarily know that they're an acanthus, or even that they're good at fate. The issue is, even if they're shit at fate, their spells win Clash of Wills regardless.
I thought it was more that, like, that's how they were always a step ahead of us.
Right, and if you take that as 2 spells, yeah. So that's going to be a Clash of Wills. or they were doing it the hard way with time magic or something.
I'm very worried about, it's like, oh, just reach out and touch it, and super cursed.
No overreach, so we don't have to deal with the backlog of paradox. You're also muted. 5 dice.
Yep.
Cool. Roll it. Cool. And that's a big old... Is it baseline potency?
No.
Okay.
Oh, it's potency 6.
Okay. Yeah, potency 6, advanced duration, advanced scale.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Womp over you and Weird. Atritus has, I think, the same amount of potency on her.
I think she's got 5.
5, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And...
sorry, and a quick question. Oh, I didn't save my notes. Well, that's fine. We'll just start over. How many yantras? Just the one? Magic channel? Okay. So yeah, quick.
Anybody try and dispel me?
No.
Okay. All right. I looked weird. I'm like, this is the one?
Yep.
Fuck.
Okay. So yeah, it takes a second. There's little nice little clips holding it on, so they have to be removed. Takes just a couple seconds, but it's one of those if this were we just the information.
Oh wait, you said it's like a scroll, right?
Mm-hmm. But it is
Okay.
it is currently held open, and so that hence you could see the ink, which I realized
Yep.
afterwards. I was like, they probably actually just unrolled, but it is now. So yeah, clip, yank, and as you pull it off, there is a we'll say a sensation of energy. Well, actually, your peripheral mage sights go off. We'll go with that. You don't feel affected in any way. You have about a second or two, and then you watch as...
What? Before you get into that, I did
Sure.
have warding gesture up.
Okay.
So if there's anything that's going to be affecting his fate or destiny, that kind of thing.
Sure. Right.
So just if there's a clash of wills or something.
Right.
Just
No.
one of those.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah.
You want to know when you've lost a clash of wills
Which,
immediately?
I mean,
Yes.
I'm totally on board with that. But yeah, thank you for reminding me, because it has been a week. And but yeah, there's about there's a solid beat. I think that kind of moment of yank, what's happening, what's going on, waiting for something, and then a gentleman mid-word, mid-step steps into the room right atop that big seal, wearing a pretty well put together suit, hair kind of done up, and not Mr. Suit style. This guy looks like he's a little bit of a shoat, and you watch as, at initial glance, you do not recognize, and is saying, "Hey, yeah, we can totally do that. The fuck is going on?" And you watch in a split second, his stance kind of adjusts, and you're like, "Oh, hi, Zolius." As he kind of looks and takes one quick spin, pinpoints the three of you, because you're not. Ooh, yes. Only had machine invisibility, not incognito presence, and goes, "Oh, fuck. Oh, we are not here right now. We are fucking not here right now. Are you kidding me?" And quickly starts to make mudra motions with his hands.
Yeah, we need to go.
Yeah, no shit. And so, yeah, he's taking 2 turns.
Weird.
I feel like we might need to step outside of this room for the thing to go, because wasn't the room warded?
Yeah, the room was warded.
I don't expect our space magic to work in here.
So we've got what we came for. Let's step out of the room. I don't know
Yeah.
what the hell Zolius is doing here, unless this is just to punish everybody all at once.
Let's go.
Step back
Yeah,
out the
anything
hallway.
else?
So in the
Maybe.
time that you have this quick conversation, which next Chronicle definitely going to have some kind of signal for out of character versus in character, but that definitely felt in character. Zolius finishes his spell and nothing happens. You just have that, like, it's not quite peripheral mage sight. It's like it starts and then immediately ends. Goes, shit.
I'm gonna snatch the paper, the instructions that weren't magical.
Sure. Yeah, the thing that
because
wasn't...
that's weird and I like it.
Sure.
So, and let's get out these doors.
And the double door shut. And there is a new voice in the room. And we're going to see if Drew ends up trying to kill himself by having two NPCs in the same room. Voice is clipped British, clean English. And you see a woman of... She's definitely Egyptian. Like, you know exactly who... Like, what are the chances? I don't know, ask weird. As a woman is suddenly next to the fireplace, next to, you know, one of those chairs, and she just kind of like very casually and with definite I know they're watching me kind of vibes, and vamping the right term, but, you know, kind of just turns, looks around and says, my thieves.
We are still in the library?
Yes, the double door shut.
Didn't let us out.
And she makes a motion to the set of chairs there and says, sit. Zolius moves.
I'm gonna go, because we're not winning this fight. It's gonna go sit and be polite.
Weird.
Put on my best proper young academic face.
Weird.
Hesitate for a moment and then shrug and sure.
Yeah, everybody else is doing it.
Have a sit.
And she stands and she has like fingers set up in the proper little, you know, lecturer's, you know, kind of stance down in front of her as she just sits and, well, stands and just waits for the four of you to find seats. Now, notably, there are only 3 chairs. So somebody finds themselves like sitting on the arm
I'll
of
stand.
Sure. There you go. Do you do the like bodyguard stance behind a chair? Yeah. And she looks and says, so. And her head kind of turns, trying to decide who she's going to deal with first kind of situation. Definitely has the like strict teacher, principal's office kind of vibe. And looks at Zolius and says, when you were given your new position, you made oaths of loyalty. Zolius kind of says, yes, and I have not broken those since I've given my oath. You watch her mouth open and then immediately shut and goes, okay. Moving to the other 3 of you, and there's a little bit of peripheral mage sight as her hand she makes a motion over her, like literally just waving her hand through the air across her eyes, momentarily blocking like eyesight for a second, and then looks between the 3 of you and then over at Zolius and goes, I see. Little cat's paws. Okay. Well, do you have what you came for? As she like looks at Songbird.
Yeah.
Do you know what it's tied to?
Others.
Very good. Do you know what those others together make?
That's what we've...
Nope, but
really?
we're awful curious.
That's what we're trying to find out.
I definitely like the 3 of you all stumbling over. No, we don't, but we're really curious. And she nods. There is a genuine smile on her face. She says, okay, well, in that case, put them together, and I will watch with interest.
Okay.
Or you can get some information now. But you can imagine I don't deal information for free. Oh, yes. See,
What's the
I,
catch?
like this one, and kind of looks down at Zolius, I'm not fond of being a follower. And I seek... Ascension is the wrong term, but yet it may apply. So, I wish to... And then actually kind of looks over at Zolius and says, you know what? Sleep. And he just crumples in the chair. So, I desire to remove the minister and supplant myself.
I don't know if I can pull that one off.
Oh, no. Though I admire your gumption. No.
Not gonna lie, punch God in the face is definitely on my list.
It's on the tier, right? No. She says, no. No. What I need is an introduction from somebody who isn't corrupted and tainted or otherwise influenced by exarchal forces. 3...
Introduction to...
To who again?
Well, another archmage, obviously. I understand that you
Y'all don't
probably...
have, like, get-togethers, or...
No. Most of the time, if we interact at all, it's going to be within our own, we'll say faction. And even then, quite rarely. However, I'm sure there are some, if not pentacle, at least some who lean in that direction, unaffected by exarchal influences. So,
probably.
So you're going.
So you want us to be messengers?
Exactly that.
Do you have one in mind?
If I had
I'm
one,
gonna put together these fucking things.
Hang on, what was that, Chris?
The one that made these fucking grimoires.
Indeed. So, well, him or the one those grimoires bind. The grimoires you've collected are the... how to put it in a way that you all would understand. Remnants of... and Chris is making a face. Podcast folks, come by the YouTube. It's much better. The grimoires are an archmage of sorts.
Okay.
As
so we put them all together.
You get an archmage.
No.
Right. Except that archmage hasn't yet been born. This was his...
Atlanteans?
No. No, if there were an Atlantean archmage still floating about...
You're thinking linear time.
Yeah. No. This is... Well... This is why I'm collecting them. I'm not sure, because they haven't been born yet, and are in some way fated to bring down... quite a bit of Western civilization. Or already has and was sent back in time. You understand how this can be difficult.
A canvas.
The whole process has been difficult. Yes, that's correct.
So, that is my bit of information for you all. Now I need something from you. Tracking down this Archmage who has separated another Archmage into 5 dainty little morsels, or the Archmage who embodies these 5 Grimoire.
Both.
Both would probably be
to...
problematic, considering one probably detests the other, but the other may not yet realize why. Time is awkward.
Yeah, whichever one shows you want us to introduce you.
Sure. More specifically, I will give you we'll say a guide who can bring the appropriate Archmage back to me. Of course, said guide, could be corporeal, but that is a little bit gauche and a bit obvious to spot. So I merely need them to take residence in one of you 3.
I don't like that very much.
Well, I kind of imagined, but if you think that you're actually in any position to bargain...
I mean...
Been like such a lovely chat we were having, though.
Can I put him in a golem? I can make you a very good golem that won't...
If you think I am going to be in a golem, you are sadly mistaken.
So you're going to draw straws to see who gets possessed?
Or you can decide amongst yourselves, and it's not possession. That would be, well, a little bit obvious, and also, again, a bit gauche. No, this is merely, think of it more of a ride-along.
That one? Appointed Solius?
No, because I'd need this one to have interactions with somebody and who will not immediately think that this is a seer plot, even though I guess it is.
Yeah.
Because one look at Zulius and various marks on him and scars that he bears, it's going to be over.
So are you trying to get the Archmage to help you kill the Minister?
Yes. For lack of a better phrase. I mean, this, as I said, it's not a discussion. It's now just decision time.
See who?
It is up to the 3 of you, because if you don't willingly accept, well, then I'll just be done with the 3 of you and wait for the... Then I'll go pick up your grimoires. Still in Manhattan, right? I guess spread out amongst your concilium. I appreciate you gathering them for me.
I just kind of move my hand towards my satchel. May I?
Your satchel?
Yeah. I have a tarot deck.
Oh, sure. Yeah, she nods.
I mean, I was just going to kind of agree to do it because it sounds interesting.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
And odd new, have an Archmage hitch a ride inside your soul?
Sort of. Yeah, so narratively, you guys tell me how does this work out? Because Weird is reaching for the tarot deck and saying, hey, can I? But does Atreides just go, yeah, screw it. Yeah, I'm in.
I mean, turn around and be like, I was just going to say yes. You want to do the card pull?
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah. yeah, I guess Ursula, we'll just call her, just kind of grins and says, very well.
Yeah, she's not threatened at all if I cast a quick spell. 6
Nope.
successes on my quick and dirty divination.
Okay, and
what card do I pull? I'm looking for who would be the best receptacle.
Stop asking me about tarot cards, man. I know the Tower and Death.
No, that's fine, but my question is, who would be the best receptacle?
You're gonna pull the death card and be like, oh, it's you, of
for
course.
this? Yeah.
Fair point. But yeah, I actually think it actually probably is. Of the three of you, Atreides is the one who is most herself and also open to such things like this. I believe Songbird is going to have big problems with an outside influence, considering Songbird's long-term plans. Weird is already tied her soul to, everybody, and that's probably not a thing you necessarily want connected to things. Meanwhile, Atreides at this point is probably within the New York Concilium, probably the most centered within, her self-actualization, for lack of a better term. Wisdom's kind of on the low side, but in terms of
6,
no lower than Songbirds.
that's true.
Yeah.
And within her own Oneros, there's very few who can go toe to toe with her. That said, this is an Archmage, so there are still challenges ahead, but
I think Atreides is our best bet.
Okay.
Thank you, chat, for giving me the full list
naming
of
every
tarot
tarot
cards.
card. I guess. Do your thing.
Okay. And she, just sit there. And
Don't have a choice.
walks to the center of the big, panopticon seal, and her motions start to blur that very, what was the movie? Equilibrium? Like the crazy, just very short start, swinging motions, and nearly looks like a dance, and you can definitely spot it's okay, that's 1 yantra, 2 yantra, 3 yantra, 4 run. Okay, chill out. As she just blurs through probably 5 or 6 different yantras and motions of spells, and as she's moving, that blur becomes more and more pronounced, and then suddenly there's just one of her, and the blur is gone. Except for Atreides, you can see a second version of her standing there, kind of readjusting her suit as the other kind of finishes the spell and kind of looks over at you and says, "Are you ready?" You can hear her. Songbird and Weird cannot perceive her or hear her. Well, that'd be the same thing.
I guess so. What are you gonna do?
I'm going to step into your own heroes.
Okay.
And looking at her, just in case it's not clear, because I realize Atreides, she's a Goche, or is embodied as a Goche. And so she motions and says, begin your meditation. She walks over and just stands in front and just watches, and her eyes close, and you have that whole sense of, meditation into your own Eros. And just that second before you fall in, it's like somebody, you're waiting at the door, and then and it opens and you start to step through, and just hand in front of you shoves back as she steps in, and you have a wash of new memories, rotes, praxis pouring into you. And I need you to make I believe this is going to be wits plus composure, but let me double check. Actually, I think this is going to be more composure plus resolve.
Better wits.
Sorry. No, this is all just sheer resistance.
Can I use a willpower?
Yeah. Okay.
That's probably not very good.
You just needed the one.
Okay.
So you will be doing this daily, by the way. And yeah, so
Can I get a little power back from indulging my curiosity bites?
Yes. Yes. Technically, it's supposed to be only done when you're not putting yourself in harm's way, but fuck it. Yeah, and so you basically have this sensation of all these memories that, yeah, I remember that time when, and you go, whoa, 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 that was not
that
me.
Wasn't mine.
And you forcibly go, nope, you, me, and we're going to keep things separate, which is very weird because you're trying to mediate between yourself and somebody else. Thank you.
We've got a lot of nice rooms in this house. Please just stay in that one.
You know, you can even use those 3. Just stay over there. Yeah, and so there's...
Hang out in the West Wing with the Rose. And...
yeah. But yeah, so for... Actually, out of curiosity, because there's no reason for I need to narrate this, outwardly, for Atreides, do you anticipate, like, making faces, or, like, how do you think she reacts to this? Or even is she talking aloud? You know, just kind of curious.
Probably sort of talking aloud when, like, the memories come up that aren't hers, just like, oh, huh, no. Okay. Can I actually remember them? Like,
if you think on them,
choose to remember things?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. I'm going to be doing this.
I figured you would. Yes, but basically the perfect recall spell and attainment. Yes.
Yeah, you could just spawn an instance to index all of those.
Yep.
As a
have a whole lifetime of memories that aren't mine living inside my brain.
Right. Now,
enjoy your new copper mind.
Yeah, basically. Now, bear in mind, you don't know the memories. So like using perfect recall, you would have to know the memory you're trying to recall. But that's something that I think over time, Atreides is probably going to start indexing and be like, I need this, and just working your way through. There may be consequences and or difficulties in doing this, but yeah, because
I imagine there's probably things she doesn't want to share.
Yeah, and that Goche is there. It's not suddenly part of you. It is a separate entity on a ride along. But yeah, it's definitely a step beyond mundane possession. So
can I talk to
her?
Not allowed like this, but yeah, delve into your own Eros, or you can try and summon her back out of your own Eros.
I feel like she might resist that.
Probably.
A little bit.
Yeah. So meanwhile, as Atreides is kind of talking under breath to herself, Songbird and Beard, what are you guys up to?
Pretending not to freak out.
I appreciate the
Can I know what this paper I'm holding does?
Looking at it, it actually has latitude, longitude, elevation, azimuth. I feel like I'm missing something else. Degrees. In short, a very specific place and time to observe the stars.
Cool.
Oh.
So while that's going on, I'm just like over my shoulder to Songbird, like, it's okay, things are going to work out.
All right, so we can go now?
Oh yeah, sorry, Ursula, finishing her spell and, watches Weird and Songbird as she walks her way back over to the fireplace, looks down at the piece of paper that Atreides has, and definitely kind of makes a bit of a shrug of a, okay, fine. And looks at, all three of you, and then kind of ducks her head down, kind of peers straight into Atreides's, eyes, and there's that definite like gaze into the soul kind of feel, and she goes, good. Though when she says good, it definitely sounds more like a that's inconvenient.
You didn't take over.
And she says, all right, very well. Obviously, and this should be very obvious, breathe a word of what has happened here today, and I will simply end the three of you. And then you are gone. You are removed from this space, post haste immediately, and find yourselves. Actually, yes, I know exactly. You find yourselves laid out comfortably as if gazing at the stars atop the warehouse.
Okay.
What do you think?
I mean, got the thing. Nobody died.
Fuck.
We have some idea of what's going to happen when we put all these things together.
I think I need the little soundboard from Craig. Fuck.
Well, we've got to return a car.
Mundane problems first.
I feel like all things considered, this could have gone a lot worse.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
Yeah, it's not over yet.
This is one of those questions of, is this a fate worse than death? So, is there anything that you guys are wanting to do here at the warehouse, or we're gonna, Batman logo, woo, back to New York?
Yeah, I think we're done here.
Because, getting down off the warehouse, especially since line of sight says weird.
I mean, we've got all our athletics and stuff.
Oh, that's
so.
true. Just
I'll do a fucking triple flip.
But I can also just get us right back to the sanctum from here.
Right, but
we have to return the car that's rented in my name.
You got lots of money, don't you?
Yes, but we don't want people
Just call and be like, we left it at this warehouse.
I would just be suspicious.
Yeah.
Not even at the warehouse, like parked in a bush outside of it. So like
it's off the road a little
just
bit.
Go get that for me.
Yeah. So yes, with that, takes you guys, another day, basically to get back. Well, actually, probably not. You return the car and then teleport back to the sanctum. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if we want to. Do we want to go back to the sanctum?
We have to, right?
I guess we don't really have any defense against. I mean, she was throwing magic around there without even a thought.
Yeah, I mean, if there's nothing we can do to stop her if she wants to kill us. So,
being somebody that is not worth killing is your best defense.
Yeah, kind of just
I'm going to
pawns, I guess.
I'm going to put myself between Atratus and Weird.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Facing Weird. And on my phone, I'm going to type out, he didn't know everything. Like, we can still, like, because she, like, out of character, she didn't know that we had stashed things in Peru.
I mean, she's in my soul now, though, so.
Now, let's get intellect plus occult minus, there's going to be a -4. Let's kind of get an idea of what kind of information you guys know about archmages. specifically subsouls or ochemata or ochema or whatever.
Okemata.
I'll spend my remaining willpower to put it -1. 1 success.
Said minus what? How many?
-4. Weird. I think that's wrong because you have to have at least 1 dot of occult to be a.
Oh, I clicked occult. I didn't take.
It's like in order to be a mage, you get 1 dot of occult for free.
Yeah.
Okay.
With a 1 success. Sounds like a 1 success.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, it makes sense that in my tiny brain that like
the priorities of things.
What can mages do outside of being a mage is something that I have looked into.
Yep. So yes, Ash and Songbird, and this is going to be relevant because Songbird is the one who needs to know this. These subsouls share knowledge and personality and arcana and gnosis at a slightly lesser degree than the full archmage, but they do not share thoughts. They do have to speak to each other in order to understand things, and they also need to be on the same. No, I think that's all you get from the 1 success is that basic understanding of these are separate entities that are a mirror copy.
But she
Her
can't just.
inside my soul can't communicate anything she's learned to her outside.
Until she gets out.
Until she does.
Until she
Gets,
does.
Right.
And she can just reintegrate that into her own.
So I still want to do this thing.
Sure. Yeah.
But basically, like a quick thing I type up on my phone, it's like, she didn't know that we moved the Grimoires. She doesn't know everything.
Mm-hmm.
We can plan. And then just turn around and smile.
Cool. As you do so, Ash, I need you to make a resolve plus composure check.
Again?
Yep. There is no penalty on this.
4 successes.
Cool. Would you like to spend a mana to make that an exceptional success?
Sure.
Okay. Basically, you feel. I swear, I should have just named her Dolores. Ursula. You feel her. You feel like somebody's trying to grab at the steering wheel of your brain, and you slap her hands down and then spin the mana to duct tape her to the passenger seat. Shut the fuck up, sit over there, I'll talk to you when I'm ready. It's duct tape. It's going to come up again, but for basically the next 24 hours, she's shut the fuck up. Locked in a labyrinth in your brain. You come up with whatever narrative you prefer. As basically... there was that reach for control, and then you just shut her down.
This is very much, we're shutting you in the unused wing of the house and locking the door.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. But yeah, you with that success, nothing happens. Well, nothing outwardly happens. So where do we go? Sanctum. Okay.
We'll turn the car back.
Right. Turn the car in.
The car's
then go
back.
to Sanctum.
Hooray, the car's back.
Yep. Okay, cool. So yes, whoosh. Wow. Just somebody in Twitch chat. Oh, Cosmic Cassidy. Hey, bud. Just jumping on. Is Atratus possessed by a seer?
Seer
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yes.
A little bit.
Cool. Yes. You guys make your way back to the Sanctum. Everybody. Well, actually, no, not everybody. It's actually empty because everybody's either at the Athenaeum or Peru. So yeah, you arrive back home.
All right, so when do we want to assemble these?
Do you want to assemble these?
The alternative is having her hanging out in my soul forever until she decides to kill me.
Well, until she gets bored of waiting and then just
Kills me anyway.
yeah.
Or rather, kills all of us because she can do that.
I love Twitch chat. Has a case of worst backseat driver in existence.
I'll go get Judd.
Okay.
I think we definitely leave the city. I don't want this Archmage meeting happening here.
Mm-hmm.
And notably, this does not necessarily need to be a today thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more just like, do you have any preparations you want to make?
I
So,
have no idea how to be prepared for this.
Yeah, that's the thing.
and now we have extra considerations. Because now we have to walk the knife edge between two archmages. Facilitate an introduction.
Tear each other up.
Well, possibly 3. So we're threading a needle to make sure that we're not worth killing to any one of them.
To any of them, yeah.
So we have to somehow facilitate an introduction without pissing off the one that we end up introducing.
Bear in
We'll
mind,
have to-
just because this hasn't come up yet, and out of character, I think you guys would have thought of it. That's all if what she said is true.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I also don't want to keep her around the city and all of our people.
Let's have a quick show of hands. Who's got put the Grimoire set together as an obsession? Because
I have recover lost mysteries, increased mysterious knowledge, which I think I'm doing a pretty good job of.
pretty damn good job of right now. If you can manage to tell anyone.
Just gotta survive it.
Yes, tell everybody in the Concilium that, yeah, no, I totally had a Seer Archmage in my soul for a little while. I'm sure that
Yeah,
would
you're going to get a visit from Mr. the Interfector.
And your friendship with Factory, also a little dicey. Yeah,
Yeah.
so some mild consequences that we will have to navigate.
Also didn't have much of a choice.
Right.
I'm going by myself to the Athenaeum.
Okay. Cool. Weird and Detritus, current plans?
Do you want to retreat the others?
You're the
I
only
wanna-
one that can go in, Ash.
I want to do some divination first.
Okay. I mean, also, I was just going to call them.
I have...
Does cell phone reception work?
Cell reception, several hundred
Little
feet
dicey.
underground. Yeah, no, and actually, besides that, the fields in Atlantean ruins, as you guys remember, wreck cell signal. So,
All right.
Technology in general, yeah.
I thought that was something to do with like the death aura Jen had going.
nope, that's just Atlantean
That's
ruins.
just because you're here.
All right. So I
Oh
will
yes, if you guys are still deciding what you guys are doing. Yes,
pop down to the Athenaeum and I'm here to pick up the kids.
right. So yes, Judd, Nako, and Network are happy to see you. And Network is like, hey, when's my birthday?
I immediately say the correct date.
Yeah.
And the correct date is the day that he awoken.
I like that. Yeah, and you watch as he goes, what the? Oh, all right, okay, cool. And then you get the hug. It's like, all right, cool. Wait, hang on.
Whisper into his ear. Careful what you say around Atratus.
He kind of steps back and goes, okay, so Atratus is alive. Did Weird make it? And he's like this super forced grin.
Yeah.
Okay. Neko kind of looks back and forth between
basically
the two.
do the same thing
For all three of them.
the same thing for all three of them.
Okay. Okay. like you guys are like, they're right outside like the elevator like bank and stuff, and the four of you are just kind of like, okay.
Like while we're walking.
That's true, yeah. And you guys take
We're taking the long way to talk about some things.
Cool. Yeah, as like when you guys are in the elevator coming up, weird network is like an incognito presence. Like, so nobody is paying attention to what we're saying. And you catch them up. Okay. Is there anything that you withhold from them?
I don't mention anything about the Archmage.
Just telling them to watch what they say.
Nothing
With
about
no indication
Ursula.
of why.
Nothing about that whole.
So
soul
got
bit.
in, got the grimoire, and now we're not talking. We're being careful what we say around Atratus. Okay, roll a persuasion, presence plus persuasion. Like, really, guys, I can't give you more information. Just trust me on this kind of thing.
And and don't ask a lot of questions.
Right.
Any penalties or anything?
Not with your cabal.
Wouldn't think so.
5 successes.
Yeah, there you go. 5.
Okay. So
Seriously, I've told you everything you need to know.
Right. And so, like, as a 1, they nod and go, "Okay, yeah, we trust you." And they all gain a condition for basically, like, you know, a kind of group togetherness kind of, you know, thing. And, you know, ready. Like, they definitely kind of listen. None of these guys are adamantine arrow, but they kind of drop into that, like, all right.
Yeah, they know to follow songbird orders.
Yep. And you guys make your way back to the sanctum.
And the rest of the walk, I like let Neko and Network go ahead of us a little bit, and just talk with Judd a little bit and ask him. Basically, if he's got any... Oh, oh God.
Yep.
Yeah.
Any what?
Telling him that I don't know what's going to happen. And I need to... Like, you can't ask for consent for something you don't know that it's going to happen, right?
Right.
Like...
Did we ever try removing his bones?
It's a thing that was talked about, and like this is doable in the fact that life magic could regenerate bone. So like, but yeah, this
it was like the first thing someone said, like offhandedly, and then everyone was like, "No, that's fucking horrifying." Like.
Yeah, just pull his bones out and, you know, regrow new ones.
Build him new ones. I mean, the alternative is killing him.
Right. Yeah, it's. I mean, listen, they barely did it to Wolverine, and he has natural healing regeneration. All right, guys.
I mean, life magic can be even better.
Right. Yeah, but that's one of those, like, it's terrifying to think about. Is it a possibility? Yes, but it was one of those that you guys kind of kick the can down the way, like, this isn't a problem just yet.
It's kind of a problem now.
Yep. So basically you tie in with get Judd kind of up to date a little bit more, or just saying, hey, you know, stuff is coming to a head kind of thing.
Like, you are both yourself and also 1/5 of this thing. No idea what that means.
Yep. Me either. And I mean, if you do the math, I've lived quite a few lifetimes. So, yep. It kind of falls silent. You guys kind of make your way to the sanctum.
Just like sad and quiet and...
Yep.
Oof.
Yep. And yeah, just a quick reminder, everybody. Mage is a horrifying game. So you guys make your way back to the sanctum, arrive. Atreides is there chilling. Weird, did you go off and do anything?
Yeah, I walked in the room and I'm just doing some divinations to explore what's going on.
Okay.
Paths forward and things like that. We talked about this briefly before, but like I don't want to take up screen time doing 30 different divinations. Can we do something more abstract?
Well, what are you trying to figure out? Because a lot of this ends up basically being, because like you casting divinations of the future, it's fairly easy for you to do. It's time consuming to come up with every question.
Right. I'm trying to. There's going to be a path forward that, like, we're trying to thread a needle here. Conceptually, in my head, we're trying to thread a needle, and I'm looking for the turning points and where those the nudges to.
You're describing. Sorry, what is going on here? Okay, pretty sure that's just a flat out time spell. Isn't that prophecy?
Yeah, but I don't have prophecy yet.
Right. So let's see here.
So I could just do a prophecy to basically lay it out.
Well, prophecy basically lets you figure out what you need to do to get to that particular future.
Right. So I have to go at it through the divination.
Right. So what I'm saying is, like, you can get sort of kind of towards there, but to build up that full thing is basically outside of your time purview. So you may need to call on somebody else to help you with that. I think
time front.
Yeah, you do have a time front. But I'm trying to say that, like, Weird probably hammers at spell after divination spell.
Hang on, wait.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a time 5. It's not a time 5.
That's time 4.
It's only time 4.
It's doable soon, I believe.
Soon, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I think I really actually like that narratively of Weird going into the this is the casting room and going tarot card.
Yeah.
Fuck!
I'm doing like a big complex tarot reading, right? To try and find a path through.
Yep.
It just keeps.
Yeah,
the cards just keep falling in the shape of an eye.
Yeah, a lot of Magic 8-Ball, ask again later kind of answers. Yeah.
Well, and maybe they do, but can we abstract that period of time spent doing that?
Well, end result is there's just too much. Like, you probably spend an hour just like I said, very easily casting divination spells and asking this question, that question, and you're like, cool, I have this thing, and then it all falls apart. Or this plan, and this, and it just, there's so much going on between the sheer number of members of the Cabal, 3 archmages that you're potentially talking about. Like,
the waters are too muddy to get in.
Right.
Yeah. The issue with asking somebody else for help is that we can't tell them what we need help with.
Right. Death Fox, I think, says it right. The cards read, you need time for. But yeah, no, I really like that narratively of like Weird trying to do it within her power and just coming up with like a bunch of these potential things that might get there, but you get, a week out and then you're like, well, okay, I don't know what happens after that. That could just be off the cliff. The next turn around the corner.
Yeah, it's like we're in a maze, but I can only see 15 feet in front of me. So I don't know if any path we take is going to end up falling us into a fire or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, so she'll spend a couple hours doing that and emerge frustrated and haggard. And
sure.
Her hair's wilder than usual.
Well, a lot of the running the fingers through the hair kind of maneuver. All right. Cool. And then, Travis, were you doing anything in particular? Or were you like, I'm going to stare into this corner, this concrete corner, and I perceive nothing, I see nothing, you get nothing?
I'm just going to watch TV. I'm just going to sit down and just watch the stupidest things I can find on TV.
And I kind of looked at, is this your,
your punishment.
Passive-aggressive?
You're trapped in here.
All right.
And you just make her watch like a really boring game show or something.
We're going to watch E. We're going to watch a lot of E.
Oh.
There we go. That's perfect.
Oh, man.
We'll suffer together, but this is what you get.
Okay, cool. So yes, the rest of the cabal arrives to...
And with your mind magic, like you can basically focus your entire attention
and perceive nothing but, yes.
So there's nothing but the TV.
Oh, God.
It's hilarious. I love it.
No thoughts, head empty.
Only Kardashians.
Yeah.
Like immediately the Archmage shows up and goes, never mind, this is a terrible plan.
You're all dead. Poof.
Yes, the cabal arrives to find Atratus like sitting with a bowl of popcorn cross-legged in front of the TV, like oblivious to everything else. Weird is occasionally heard yelling and groans of frustration from the casting room. Nako does come over and gives Atratus a hug. There's a lean over and ear to the door and goes, yeah, I'm just gonna leave Weird, alone. Network.
Jeez.
And Network and Nako are both kind of giving, and Judd, I guess, are definitely giving Atratus a look of what,
Play it cool, guys.
Hey, y'all.
Sure. Everybody waves back. Hey,
man.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't think anybody's super awkward because it's okay, just gotta okay, be careful what we're talking about. Sure, fine, all right.
So,
We can't even do a supernal summoning because whatever we're going to get is going to be
possibly, but yeah, you are deep in the weeds.
Scroll.
Cool. So yes,
what's the scroll do?
You open the scroll. Let's see here. Is that under ST notes or do I have a separate section?
I feel bad cutting Hiza out of this at this point, but I'm not taking him to the Archmage summoning.
No.
Sorry, dude. We'll fill you in later.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I knew there was something I needed to do this week. Write down roads. Guess what I didn't do this week? Write down roads.
Let me guess. It's a bunch of spirit and then one fucked up
life spell. Yep.
Cool.
Yep. Plus one reach for scale, plus one potency. Yep. The text, probably isn't too difficult for you guys to figure out that it is actually Egyptian. From I think it's the old empire, 2,500 or so BCE. So is, I think, the oldest one. Let me double check real quick. Old Kingdom. That's the term I was looking for.
Or Nile.
Yeah, because it outdates the Pandemonium one from Babylon. Yep. Yeah, so it and the Pandemonium ones are the oldest ones. The others were all CE. Whether or not that is relevant, you don't know. It's not relevant. We are not going down that rabbit hole. and Mick JB just bailed out a Twitch chat and said, "There's a lot going on. I'll get the VOD later."
Well, at this point, everybody's here except the others. Do we have a plan?
I am going to perhaps boldly and wrongly assume that these things won't immediately
Coalesce.
join together.
I mean, I don't. That's what I'm worried about. I would rather not get all of them together until we're ready to do the thing.
Okay, well, what do you want to do to get ready? Because I'm...
Do you have any idea of how to deal with this?
I have no clue. You're probably in the best position to deal with that.
I mean, we just do it.
I think we just do it.
Okay, so quick heads up, just to make sure that like an avenue of thought is not completely missed, is the fact that like there's obviously an Archmage connected to these 5 that somehow embody it, but then there's the other Archmage.
Mm-hmm.
And
Who made
so
them?
who perhaps who made them, yes. So whether or not you're trying to reach out to them is like, I don't know if that was something that you guys decided not to or anything. I'm just making sure that that was a thing, because that was the like Ursula, man, Dolores is in my head. Ursula basically said, I want to meet one of these 2. I don't care which. But right, so the options are there. Now, how you get in contact with said other Archmage,
I feel like the best way to do that would be to assemble his Grimoires and get his attention.
Theoretically, Weird could do some base stuff.
Do it in the pocket.
Umber says very unsolidly. I mean, these things are going to have a connection.
The only sympathetic connections that you guys have ever been able to observe on these have been the connections between each other when they were close to each other. There are no other sympathetic connections on them.
Okay.
Right. That was one of the big things way back at the start of like, what the fuck are these things?
Yeah,
So-
so I don't know how.
I'm just trying to think how to very quickly point whatever materializes or manifests or comes looking at something else so that it doesn't pay attention to us.
Oh, when like the Archmage shows up, how to
Right,
deviate
because
them?
the Archmage might show up like, you're trying to undo my work, and we're dead. Like, I'm trying to avoid that particular outcome. I don't know how we can do that. To give them something else to think about immediately so that we're beneath their notice. Or offer them something that...
And Somber just kind of points at Atratus.
I mean, it's
Two
not what.
birds with one stone, right?
Yeah, it's not what was wanted.
Oh, that's not a good metaphor for us to use.
But yeah, I mean, that. Was kind of the request.
Right.
But yeah,
So-
how do. You're talking about like the one like reassembling the Grimoires and then dealing with whatever comes out of there?
Or whoever shows up and says, stop what the fuck you're doing right now. Whichever way. Can you just yank that thing out of your head?
Technically, yes. in the fact that it is withstood by rank. I'm not telling you the rank of an Archmage, but I'm going to give you a hint. It's higher than 5. But should they decide to not resist and not withstand, potentially could.
Because, I mean, what she wanted was an introduction. And I guess the idea is that it wouldn't talk to her immediately. Like, it wouldn't come for her. Because she's, marked or whatever.
Right.
But if we can get them there, then she can chat.
Okay, so we find somewhere off in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, I want them away from here.
I think, like, it'd be cool if somebody had a moon base we could use or something.
Fucking Discord brings that shit up so much. Do not give in. Mage Moon Base is actually a really good idea. It's just really
I was thinking actually last week
that
I really need to get my hands on a Mars meteorite.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are chunks of Mars currently existing on Earth.
Yep.
Depending on how far it's been, or how long it's been off, it wouldn't be super connected anymore.
Yep.
But if there's even a weak connection, I can strengthen that.
Correct.
But there's only something like, I don't know, 120 samples in the world or something like that.
Okay, so Atratus and I will get a car. We'll take 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And drive off. Fucking rent a cabin off in the middle of goddamn nowhere. Like way upstate New York or Maine or something.
Okay.
And Weird, you can bring Judd with you.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, what happens to Judd?
Have we just given up on getting him new bones?
It's a sketchy, risky endeavor, so it's been pushed down the line.
But if the alternative is killing him,
we don't know.
Yeah,
right?
But
now
maybe Judd is the Archmage.
Hang on, I gotta write some notes. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Like, and Songbird launches into this fucking wild ass like Pepe Sylvia thing that's been cooking in their brains
strings and thumbtacks on the wall, and
since Ursula talked about how like they're all parts, and like Songbird has this like really crackpot theory that each of them is like look, no, like the book is the story of this Archmage's life, and Judd is the body, and the lightning is the anima that animates their soul, and like all this stuff. And like 10 minutes later, everyone is just sitting there like staring at her like, what the fuck are you on?
Yeah, I think Judd goes, would I even know?
I mean, if they're right, then no, because that lightning would be it, right?
Well, I think it's probably better to be safer than sorry and see if we can do the bone replacement if Judd is willing. Unless, Judd, you want to just take the risk and see what happens.
If you're willing to risk it, yeah.
Give me a second while I look over the regenerate spell, just to be sure. I know it's within the option. It's just a question of how gnarly is it actually.
You have enough very competent life mages.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, we could make you a new body and then put your mind in it. Just take this soul and this mind and put it in this new body.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say you'd have a hard time interacting with Judd's soul.
Would I know?
Yeah, because it's ripped to fucking shreds.
Yeah, to throw, I don't remember if I used the term appropriately back then, but deviant are also known as the broken. Like, his soul is a patchwork of
a little bit down in his toe and
cellophane
a little more on the bridge of his nose,
holding together, Judd's soul.
Just shreds, you say.
Get you a new soul. You don't need this one. Like, the mind in the new body, put a soul in it. I've got a spare.
Get Mr. Graves' soul. It's definitely a possibility. But like Judd actually pauses and goes, I admit I like the idea of like a whole new human body. But since we're talking about it, and kind of looks over to like the workshop that you guys have.
Can make you a golem body. Can make you a pretty sweet golem body.
And it would be me, right?
Yeah. It would be like this mind. We are running into the prestige problem, though, where if this is just a copy of you that has all of your memories, but you're still here and you're still totally gonna die, but that you will not, and maybe that's not great.
Judd goes, I never did get to see that one. That said, if you haven't seen The Prestige, go check it out. It's a terrific movie. Anyways,
now that we spoiled the literal Prestige.
Again, go see the movie. Even with spoilers, is good.
It's still a really good movie.
But yes, as Chad is saying, Robo Judd, Super Mega Robo Judd. Okay.
Yeah, can you just completely remove a mind and move it? Like, I know you can copy one.
That has some real Full Metal Alchemist vibes.
Which Judd is like, I did see that one. Oh. I mean, to excise a mind would be mind 5. And basically, because it's actually basically astral projection. With a couple of other bells and whistles in the fact that you're not connected to that body any further. And then putting it into a golem. Judd kind of like, you can definitely see like Judd going back and forth in that like giddy, oh my god, this sounds so cool. And then
it's
also,
doable.
Oh fuck, what does that actually mean? Self like actualization moment. Actually, let me jump over here to matter for golems.
I think probably the best way to preserve his humanity would
the problem is I don't have mind 5.
would be to do the bone replacement.
Yeah, and the other thing is Golem is it's not a duration spell. I
mean, if I did this, I would just make it indefinite and release it.
It's one of those ones that we've been really bad about it with this Chronicle. I'm wondering if would it just be active? Like, would duration actually matter? Because you just make it animate now. And especially once you bind a ghost or spirit to it. Interesting. But I think when Weird brings up, the whole humanity part, he goes, yeah, replacing my bones. Like touches his skull. And kind of looks over at Songbird and goes, like, you can do that, right?
Can
regenerate me?
Your life 5.
I mean, technically, it is what I was double checking. It is within the purview and realm of what you can do with regenerate.
Yeah, but
I mean, I can call Shanna. You can talk to Oceans.
Big life mages. Hip.
We got, bigger life mages.
And we can get a whole bunch of them.
But will Shanna or Oceans
do it?
Not ask questions, A,
well,
and B.
I mean, they all know that
Judd
the Grimoire is on his bones, and that if we want to use it, he's gonna die.
Pip.
Mm-hmm. Like Judd is an open secret.
I think Songbird gets like genuinely upset by thinking through all of this, and like needs to leave, and just I'll be back in a little bit.
Okay. And like Judd stands up before you like get out the door, like does the whole like warrior arm grasp thing and says, "It's cool." And then like pats your shoulder and kind of steps back and like gives you room, lets you like out the front door or out the back into the little courtyard area.
Front door. And like in a rather weirdian sense of a scene, ends up like walking all the way to the armory.
Cool.
Without even really thinking about it.
Sure. And that is where we will pause this episode. End this episode. Pause this session.
Well, and
cool.
Just a time, I can imagine that like Atratus and Weird would continue chasing our mental tales.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm still bringing up like everyone, like all of our options that we can work through that aren't kill Judd.
Yeah,
because that's
right. And Judd is right there with you. Like, yeah, I'm not volunteering to die. Let's talk out these ideas. But yeah, so
for the length of the walk, like we're still just going around and around.
Oh yeah, we'll catch up on that here in a minute. We will. YouTube guys, we will see you on Friday. Twitch guys, we will see you in a couple minutes. Oh, and don't forget to come by Discord. Remember Discord, yeetinto.space. Check out our Patreon, patreon.com/occultistanonymous or staylucky.club, whichever you prefer. There was suggestions of setting up a new URL. We're not doing it, so don't use it.
Are we not?
Probably not, but owly.fans, right? Right? Because birds.
It's hard to say out loud.
Yeah, it's very hard to say out loud. And that was my actual biggest concern. I'm like, I don't need people like,
looking for our only.
Yeah, like don't just, we're not doing that.
We're not on there.
We are definitely not on there. Well, I don't say definitely, because that sounds like there's something against it, but we are definitely not. Other people might be, and that's cool. We're not. This episode has left me needing a
taco. Same.
So yeah, YouTube guys, we'll see you on Friday. Twitch guys, we'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Stay lucky.